Everyone. It's speed dating time again. Come sign up quick on the link in my Facebook. Oh, look, there's someone. Hello. Can you hear me? And another speed dating event is done. It was so much fun. We chatted in the after party there. I made all these friends. They're all on my Instagram now. Such funny girls and guys. It's just so, and we're all getting a $25 US Amazon gift card just for being in the staying till the end, so like till the after party. So like, I don't understand why you guys aren't joining me. The link's on my Facebook. Like, just go sign up now, and then you can join the Toronto event tomorrow, and you can come next. Okay, so I need to figure out a better nightly schedule. So I get hungry around 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'll just go have a little snack. And then what did I have? Like 4 little grilled cheeses and then some matzah and butter. And I ate the 3 remaining marshmallows with coconut on them. Now my stomach hurts. And I had just read a list. My CPAP newsletter was saying, here's the 10 sleep tips. And it's like, don't eat a big meal for 2 to 3 hours before bed. Don't exercise before bed. Get off your electronics and stuff an hour before bed. When here I am talking to you. So what did I do this morning? I think the banging woke me up, and then it was like 9 o'clock. I'm like, I should just get up. And I couldn't really remember my dreams. There was something about like being in a restaurant or I don't know. Oh, and then I was just in my head. I kept picturing my phone, and there was something about like text or something, and it was like highlighted in red, and it kept highlighting it, and that was the phone number of the people I'm. No, it wasn't the people I'm supposed to reach. There was something about highlighting this text that I needed to have, and so it's just another example of one of those things again where I'm trying to figure something out and I can't. Like when I'm always like in the dream and I'm like, what is that girl's phone number? Let me just get the number before I wake up. It's so sad. Does anybody like have nice dreams? Does anybody like lie in bed and go, sweet, sweet sleep. Oh, I'm dreaming. I'm trying to think of what I did today. I know I talked to my dad's handyman because I was having issues with one of the windows. And he was here, so I talked to him for briefly outside. And when I was outside, I was like, it is really nice outside. And that was it. My dad texted me. It was pretty early. It was around like 5 or 5:15 that he said we're having dinner. And then my mom was pretty funny. She was trying to remember the name of the traffic guy on the CBC radio, and so I Googled it and told her. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know why does the traffic, like every day, the same thing. It's like, it's Ottawa. It's like, there's little traffic there, and it's the same as when it's busy traffic. It's like, well, you're just going to not drive? Like, there's not a lot of traffic right now. And my dad didn't really get the idea, because I said this should be your stand-up act. And then she was going on her rant. She's like, yeah, but I'm just complaining. I'm like, yeah, but that's what stand-up is. I learned in my class that stand-up is just tell people what's wrong. And she's like, well, this is what's wrong. My dad kept saying, yeah, no, but I mean, there is construction on this area. And I'm like, Dad, you're missing the point of he's doing comedy. And I kept looking outside to see if there were birds, but there aren't. My dad moved the birds off the porch, and there's no bird feed in the ones that's on the tree, because my dad just doesn't like birds. He's like, there's bird poo and what else? Oh, and bird seed everywhere. And I was like, what? My mom really loves the birds, and I love the birds, and I just wish we could. Oh, that's right. So then there was a call when my mom was upstairs after dinner from my niece and nephew, and she brought the phone down, and so we were all video chatting with them. And then my niece and nephew were like, I wish we lived there. Like it's, you get to live with Babalu and Zeta, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, so we're all. I don't know, somebody was saying, yeah, so we're all living with our parents, and I was saying, hey, it's not as much fun as it sounds. But then Ayla, my brilliant little niece, she's like, well, it's better, it's more fun to be a kid and live with your parents. I'm like, yes, yes. Oh, and earlier in the day, like around 4 o'clock, I was all upset because I sold this stock yesterday at like 5.47. I was hoping it would go back down, but now it's like $6. I'm like, how many shares did I have? Like 1250. So that's like $625 US, which is like $700 or $800 Canadian if I had just waited a day. But I guess you never know. But it's interesting. You know how I always say, like, you feel better about something if something bad happens, but then it goes away. And sometimes in my head, I try to imagine something bad has happened. Like, I feel like, oh, if only, say I lost a leg or something. And I'm like, so I pretend in my head that I did, but I'm like, if I just got that back, I'd be happy. It's like, oh, so I do that in my head. And then, yeah, like last week when my Facebook disappeared, suddenly it was such a relief to get it back. So I feel like, wow, using Facebook is so exciting. And then, yeah, I wasn't able to close the window for a couple of days here, so it was freezing. Because it was off the track a bit. But then I asked the guy, and he fixed it. and I've been trying to get it in the track, and he just touches it, and I'm like, I was like, no, you can't, you have to pull it. I'm gonna have to take the window out of the thing. I can't get it. He's like, oh, just go. He's like, I work with a lot of windows. I just know how to touch it. I'm like, anyway, so now I feel like, wow, it's not too cold in here. Like the window's closed. Now that's like it's a big deal. Anyway, speed dating was a lot of fun. Had a great time in the after party, chatting, and made some new friends. So you guys should really come. There's one for Toronto tomorrow night, and there'll be Atlanta and Toronto again next week. And that's about it. I guess I forget, there was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, I guess my point is just that I keep putting off opening the scale because I'm like, oh, I got to film it. I got to be in perfect condition and mentally sharp, and then to film my keyboard review, I should just do them. I just film them, just turn on the camera, maybe my webcam to film myself, and just be like, hey, I'm opening the box, like whatever. Because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to become a billionaire from my opening my box of my fat measuring scale. I just need to do it. Whatever level of fatigue or whatever, that's what it is. So my dad was even saying today, what was it? Because he was making fun of something. Oh, my mom was like, we were talking about the prince. Okay, so my mom said today she interviewed the guy who wrote the fitness book, or who was the father of the guy who, father of somebody. But anyways, the person who wrote the fitness book, or who was the fitness trainer for the Queen's husband, who just passed away. And she's like, that's my claim to fame. And my dad's like, what do you say? It's like, oh, you've done other famous things. I'm like, no, she said for today. And she's like, no, for right now, that's my most famous thing. Anyways, so like we're close to the royalty. What was my point? Oh, my mom's like, yeah, why didn't you ever apply for the Duke of Edinburgh Award or something? I'm like, what's that? It's like, it's for kids. And I'm like, I don't know. My dad's like, maybe he's still working on his application. Ha ha ha. Because the joke is, he's like, it's just not perfect yet. Just, when I drew a card for my friend Joel's bar mitzvah when I was 12, and I just wanted to fill a whole Bristol board, and I never finished it, and I never gave it to him because it wasn't perfect. I wanted it to be, completely filled. Right, so the point of that was that don't wait until something's perfect, just keep... Oh, that's what I did this afternoon. I actually started uploading, instead of filming my things, I'm like, oh, I want to go upload some more vlogs and stuff, like from the past, of February, and I uploaded some photos, so I'm getting more stuff out, and I'm just like, just need to sit down for a few hours tomorrow. And also my mom said, you should start on your Christian book, so you can just get that done and see if it's working. I'm like, yeah, so lots to do tomorrow, so hopefully I'll go to sleep and get stuff done. What did you do today?